Hi guys, how are you doing today? Welcome back to a random lifestyle vlog. If you're new here, my name is Paulina. This channel is all about beauty, and I think we can safely say that the advent calendar unboxing season for 2024 is finally over, so we can talk all we want about what was good, what was bad, what needs to improve. So that's what we're going to do in today's video. So I'm going to focus on multi-branded advent calendars because I know that's what interests you the most anyway, but in the second part of this video I'm going to mention some of the most popular single branded ones too. So we're starting with the multi-branded advent calendars. I'm going to divide them into categories so that the comparisons are a bit more fair. These categories are going to be based on price. So the first category is going to be affordable one, and these are all the advent calendars that are priced up to £100. There are actually a couple of advent calendars this year that were priced at £100. These advent calendars are also included in this affordable category for the purpose of this video. The mid-range category is going to be anything between £100 and £200, and then we have the luxury category, and that's everything that is priced at more than £200. So let's start with the affordable category first. I find this one quite interesting this year because I honestly don't know which advent calendar should win. Like, if you were to name a winner of this category according to you in the comment section down below, I'm sure I would just get so many answers here. I feel this category is pretty solid. Like, I think most of these advent calendars here were pretty good, but there was nothing that really blew my socks off. Too bad, because that happened in the previous years. There was always at least one advent calendar that was visibly better than the others. I think this year I can't see that. I personally picked up the OK Beauty advent calendar in collaboration with Hannah Martin. I really like that, so from my very personal point of view, I guess that will be my winner. I don't think I'll be able to defend my opinion here. I don't think I can point out this kind of objective winner here, one advent calendar that's just so much better than anything else. I think it's very much down to your personal preference, and if you were to name your favorite advent calendar from this category, I'm pretty sure I would get so many different answers. So I don't think there is a proper winner in this category, unfortunately, but as I mentioned before, I don't think there's anything extremely bad here either. So I think most advent calendars will be good for someone, just down to your personal preference. So since there are no winners, is there anything to complain about? Of course there is. I have some issues with several advent calendars, so let's talk about that. First of all, Boots. So Boots this year released 3 advent calendars. Last year they released only one that was priced at £99, and that was one of these advent calendars that literally blew my socks off. That one was pretty amazing. I loved it. I really hoped that they were going to do something similar this year, but no, they decided to do 3 advent calendars, and they were okay, but I don't think they were anywhere as good as the last year's advent calendar. So this year they had this classic 25-day advent calendar, nowhere near as good as the last year's one. Then they had this 12-day luxury advent calendar. That one was actually pretty good. Still, I preferred the one from last year. And then there was this a skincare advent calendar that I think was most suitable for a very young skin. It was a lot of hydrating and exfoliating products, so I guess it was okay for maybe some younger people, but again, last year was so much better. So yeah, I really hope next year Boots is going to do one really good advent calendar. Just focus on quality, not quantity. So yeah, that's one thing I feel I needed to say. Next up, I think I need to mention Asus. So as I said, if I asked you to mention a winner, the best advent calendar in this category, I'll probably get so many answers. If I asked you to tell me the most disappointing advent calendar, I'm pretty sure many of you will answer Asus. This advent calendar, it seems people were not happy with that. From my perspective, I used to buy it every single year. This year I skipped it for the first time in I don't know how many years, so that should tell you something. But at the same time, I skipped on most of the calendars in this price category because, as I said, nothing really wowed me. So I thought this was my personal preference, but it seems most people seem to agree as far as Asus goes. I think it was generally better in previous years too. So hopefully they're going to learn from this year, and next year they're going to provide us with something really good. fingers crossed. And oh, last thing I need to mention, Harrods Hair and Body Advent Calendar. I mean, Harrods released 3 Advent Calendars this year. This one was the cheapest one. I don't know. I know many people actually liked it, but I felt like this was one of these Advent Calendars where they had like a bunch of products, didn't know what to do with them. They couldn't really squeeze them in the kind of main Advent Calendar, so they created this cheaper Advent Calendar to just get rid of that stuff. It just feels a little bit like that to me. There were some really nice products in there. It was not like really bad, but at the same time, I don't know. I think the other 2 Harrods Advent Calendars were so much better, but we're going to talk about them later on. This particular one, I feel like it was a bit redundant, and it actually matches really well the whole vibe of this category. It was okay, but nothing special. If you're one of these people who really love this Advent Calendar, bear in mind that this is just my opinion. So, and of course we're all different. Okay, we're moving on to our mid-range category. This one was a little bit easier because some of the Advent Calendars in this category were really good. Some of them were okay and some of them were pretty bad. So let's talk about that. Okay, so it was very easy for me to find my top 3. I don't think I can tell you which of these 3 was my favorite or my least favorite, but this is like a very strong top 3. So my top 3 is Sephora, John Lewis and Flannels. So the British Sephora Advent Calendar has never disappointed, and this year is no exception. This Advent Calendar was priced at £199, and I have a feeling that it's going to leave this mid-range category next year. Like, it's very close. But yeah, it was a really good Advent Calendar, really good value for money, nice variety of products, nothing really to complain about. Really good Advent Calendar. John Lewis, same story, really good variety, really good price and value ratio. This one was priced at £195 with a value of £900. All good. The only thing I complained about a little bit was the fact that they didn't have an eyeshadow palette, and I feel like in previous years they always provided an eyeshadow palette, but too bad. I've noticed that eyeshadow palettes were not that popular this season in Advent Calendars. Like, there were some, but it was not something that you can just find like everywhere. And the last position in my top 3 is the Flannels Beauty Cracker. Technically that's not an Advent Calendar, but it's like the alternative to an Advent Calendar. I'm not really sure how to describe that. But even though it doesn't really have these numbered doors, I feel like it's obviously a very close alternative to an Advent Calendar. So this one was priced at £185 with a value of £800. Same story. Really nice variety, some like interesting products inside, good sizes, good value. Yeah, I really like that. So these were the good ones. Now we have the okay-ish ones. So first up, latest in beauty. This Advent Calendar was priced at £169, but I don't think anyone paid that much money for it. There were discount codes, so you could definitely get it cheaper. This was a good Advent Calendar, I think, a solid one. Quite a lot of full sizes, kind of like practical items, not necessarily exciting though. Still pretty good, especially if you were able to get like a really good discount on it. Same category here, Minted. They offered, I think initially there was supposed to be like 2 Advent Calendars. They ended up doing 3. These are like mini Advent Calendars with 6 full-sized skincare, luxury skincare items. They actually look really lovely. The only issue is that they are quite expensive for what they are. So that's why they are in this kind of like okay-ish category. Now, let's talk about the worst calendars in this category. Again, if you like them, don't come for me. This is just my personal opinion, and you know, opinions can differ. So this year Next released 2 Advent Calendars, the luxury one and the kind of like regular one. Regular one was in the affordable category, and as with pretty much like anything in this affordable category, it was okay, but not mind-blowing. This luxury Advent Calendar, don't think there's anything luxurious about it. And that is a bit of a problem for me. It is priced at £170. I honestly feel like the cheaper Next calendar was better than the luxurious one. So yeah, not the best decision probably to do a luxury Advent Calendar that doesn't feel luxurious. Oh, okay, the next Advent Calendar is Feni. And this is interesting because this year the Feni Advent Calendar was priced at £200 with a value of £500. Last year it was priced at £165 with a value of around £700. So like, what happened here? Why is this calendar so much more expensive and the value so much lower? Like, I'm not sure what happened here, and to be honest, it's not like all the products inside were like full sizes or anything. The value mentioned here, this £500, was actually based on like some minis or like travel sizes, so not that great. And yes, this advent calendar initially came with a goodie bag, so that obviously added some extra value to this initial advent calendar and maybe even made it a good value for money. But to be honest, I don't think it should be like that. I think they literally didn't really think it through properly, because that just didn't look good, I think. Okay, so the top tier of our advent calendars, the luxury category, everything that is priced at more than £200. I think this one is pretty easy. I think the winner here has to be Haret's Beauty Advent Calendar. This one is actually pretty amazing. It was priced at £250. Haret's Advent Calendars have been priced at £250 for like several years now, which is pretty amazing. They didn't really change their price. I mean, it's pretty high as it is, but at least they don't increase their prices. So it was priced at £250 with a value of £1,600, which is crazy. It was filled with like amazing goodies, but mostly skincare. So I guess if you're not a hardcore skincare fan, or if you like a little bit more variety, I think you'll probably disagree with me on the Harrods thing. But I think if not Harrods, then Space NK 100%. This advent calendar has a little bit lower value, but there were plenty of full sizes, a really lovely variety. There's literally nothing I could complain about it. It was priced at £250 as well, so very similarly priced advent calendars. One of them insane value, but skincare heavy. The other one a lot of lovely variety in some really great brands. So yeah, I think both of these advent calendars were pretty extraordinary. Both of them were just generally better than anything else in this category. I have one more here to add. This is my personal favorite, Fort Norman Mason. I just love their advent calendars. I know they're not for everyone. Not everyone is like super excited about like bath and body products and things like this, but I just love it. I love Fort Norman Mason in general. I love their shop, their kind of aesthetics. There's just something so luxurious, but in a very nice way about this advent calendar. So this is one of my personal favorites, but I'm sure it's not going to be everyone's favorite. This one actually had quite a lot of full sizes inside. Like I think most of the products were actually full size there, so yeah, that was pretty good. So when it comes to these luxurious advent calendars, I do feel like pretty much any advent calendar you're going to pick is going to give you a really good value for money. Like there's nothing that's really bad in this category. And yes, they are expensive, but you're always going to get a really good value for your money. So as much as I think that Harrods and Space NK advent calendars are just like visibly better than the rest, but the other calendars in this category will still offer you a really good value for money. I did encounter a couple of issues while unboxing these advent calendars, and I feel like I need to address them now. So I'm going to start with Harvey Nichols. Okay, so this advent calendar was priced at £250. That's the same price they had last year, with the value of £1,000. Last year the value was £1,300, so they kind of reduced the value by £300 for whatever reason. I think what happened is that they scrapped these vouchers, you know, for like beauty treatments that like almost no one could use. So I think they just removed that, and this is why the value decreased. But they should have given us something else instead. And don't get me wrong, I did enjoy this advent calendar. I actually liked it more than I expected, but I do feel like there's quite a lot of room for improvement here. I feel like not everything they said was supposed to be full-sized was really full-sized. I think sometimes the sizes were not really the best. So yeah, not a bad advent calendar. I actually quite liked it. But you know, there are so many advent calendars that were just better at that price that there's no excuse really. Next up, Selfridges and their whole limited availability marketing, I don't know, game or whatever that was. Okay, so first of all, they increased the price. Their advent calendar was priced at £220 last year. This year it was £250. That's quite a big change, and the value did not really increase accordingly. It was actually slightly less than last year. And then they did this whole kind of limited availability thing. This advent calendar sold out in like 40 minutes. Like no other advent calendar sold out that quickly. So it sold out, and then it was like in and out of stock constantly for the next several weeks, which honestly I don't believe this was a proper like in and out of stock. I think they kind of planned it, because this advent calendar being priced at £250, it was not the best advent calendar on the market. Again, it was pretty good, but I'm pretty sure we all can agree that there were other advent calendars that were better for that money. So I don't think it sold out because it was so good. I think it sold out because they wanted us to think that this availability is so limited. This is actually such a great way to convince people to buy their product. Like if it sells out so quickly, that must be good, right? And also, whenever you see this being back in stock, you're probably going to make a very quick spontaneous decision to buy it, in case it might actually sell out forever next time. So as much as I understand that, I do find this pretty annoying, I'm not going to lie. But other than that, I did like this advent calendar. It was just stressful to try and get it. And then the last advent calendar I need to mention here is Vogue. This is probably the priciest advent calendar on the market, priced at £355 with a value of over £1,600. Amazing value, pretty hefty price too. I think they did improve certain things compared to last year. Like they improved the sizes. Last year we had quite a few of those like minis or like travel sizes. This year it seems like everything was full size, so that was good, right? But they improved certain things, whereas like other things fell a bit short here. Like for some reason they decided to repeat many items from last year, like socks or like a sleeping mask. So I feel like this advent calendar came across as a bit repetitive, and if you're paying that much money for an advent calendar, you just don't really want to have to complain about like literally anything. Again, we do have some really fabulous advent calendar priced at much less, right? £250, and if they can do it so that like no one has like any reason to complain, I'm sure Vogue can too. But with that being said, I did enjoy this advent calendar too. As I said, I think this category, pretty much whatever you're going to pick, you're going to be pretty happy with that. But yes, there are some issues that should be addressed. Okay, so I'm going to finish talking about multi-brand advent calendars with some fragrance, like luxury fragrance advent calendars. There were actually 3 this year here in the UK, and it was Haret, Harvey Nichols and Space NK, and I think all 3 of these advent calendars were pretty amazing. Harrods offered the best value for money. I mean, it was pretty insane, I'm not going to lie. It sold out pretty quickly too, no surprise here. Harvey Nichols was a little bit cheaper. The value of this advent calendar compared to Harrods was not as crazy, but there were many of you who actually mentioned that you prefer the fragrance selection in Harvey Nichols, so that pretty much shows you that it's very much down to your personal preference too. And then Space NK was the cheapest of these 3, but it had the biggest variety. It was not just perfumes, but it had like a candle, some like body mist, some aromatherapy oils, you know, things like that. I enjoyed every single one of these fragrance advent calendars. I think they were brilliant, and I really hope we'll have more of these next year. Okay guys, so let's quickly talk about single brand advent calendars. I'm not going to dive into that, because when it comes to single brand advent calendars, I feel like not much changes from year to year. Like they tend to have this similar kind of like idea of an advent calendar, and year in year out you're going to get pretty much like a similar things inside. And that goes for luxury brands like Dior, but also like fragrance brands like Jo Loves or Diptyque, or even like skincare like LMS or Espa. All these advent calendars seem to be very similar every single year. I think I've actually seen a really good improvement in Armani advent calendar, which I picked up this year. There was quite a lot of full sizes, and I really love the colors too. I think Yves Saint Laurent did the same thing too. But most of these luxurious brands are going to have like a very similar content. But when it comes to those single branded advent calendars, I think the ones that interest you the most are the makeup ones. And here I have singled out 4 of these advent calendars to that I really like, and 2 that could potentially do a little bit better. So my number 1 makeup advent calendar has to be P. Louise. This advent calendar was priced at £240 with a value of £500. It comes in this stunning box. Most of the products inside are full sizes. The value for money is great, and pretty much all the products in there are like new or limited edition, so that is brilliant. On the flip side, not everyone is going to like their aesthetics. It's very kind of like girly, toy-like, pink. Not everyone likes that, and this is a makeup artist brand as well, so you might get items like the bronzer palette with like 10 different bronzers, and of course you're not going to be able to use every single one of those. But on the other hand, that actually makes this advent calendar pretty inclusive as well, because I'm pretty sure like everyone's going to be able to find the right shade. So it definitely has pros and cons, but this advent calendar is very good for money, 100%. And then we have MAC advent calendar, and what I really like about MAC, they actually offer quite a lot of full sizes there, and the shades are different from last year. Like, we don't really have repeats here, or like not many repeats at least. So if you love MAC and especially their lipsticks, then these advent calendars are always a good choice. So as far as makeup goes, I think these 2 advent calendars were pretty good, but now we need to talk about the ones that maybe could be a little bit better, and I need to start with Charlotte Tilbury. Okay, this advent calendar, the box it comes in, it's just stunning, and actually never changes. The box this year is a little bit different. It comes in this kind of like a heart shape, kind of like a little chest. Stunning, but that's not enough to make me buy it. I mean, these advent calendars have never offered like an amazing value for money, but I think the last 2 years it's been like worse and worse. You pay all the money for a bunch of minis. I honestly feel like if you don't really care about this beauty chest, it's probably a much better idea to buy one of Charlotte's mystery boxes. They actually offer a really good value for money. I think it's much better than the calendar. So yeah, I think it's still available to purchase. I don't think it's sold out, and that pretty much shows you something. And I think I'm going to finish this with Benefit advent calendar. Again, we have this really cute packaging. It comes in this kind of like a grocery basket. That looks really cute. But again, the contents is just like a bunch of minis in the end. So yeah, again, I don't think this one is particularly worth the money. It's interesting how some brands can actually offer you a really good value for money in their advent calendars, and some just don't. Anyway guys, this is everything for me today. Let me know your thoughts as to which advent calendars are the best and the worst in 2024 according to you. Thank you very much for watching. For more beauty related content, check those videos over here. I'm going to see you very soon. Take care. Bye.